Chapter 4.4 talks about scatter plots and lines of fit. A lot of times scatter plots to me look like somebody's taken a paintbrush and went like this and the dots just went flying everywhere. So I don't know, I thought I'd find some artwork that was made out of dots. So this is, if you could look closely at this octopus just has a whole bunch of dots. Of course this isn't random, this is purposely put that way, but anyway, a scatter plot is a graph that shows the relationship between two data sets. The two data sets are graphed as ordered pairs in a coordinate plane. Scatter plots can show trends in the data. So this particular example is a scatter plot of ages of married couples. We've got the husband's age down here. We've got the wife's age right here. And it makes sense that as the husband's ages increase, the wife's ages increase also because they're getting old, right? One of the ones I wanted to look at though was this one. I was curious to know the ages of that couple. And if you look really closely, if you even took a ruler or something and looked at it, okay, that dot goes right between 50 and 55. So the husband, I'll write it over here, the husband is probably about 53 years old, something like that. And if I come this way and I look, the wife is about 63 years old. So these examples here where these dots are kind of up above is where the wife is older than the husband. My husband and I would be right here because we're the same age. We're only 7 weeks apart. So anyway, so that's an example of a scatter plot. So interpreting a scatter plot, this problem says, the scatter plot shows the amounts, X in grams of sugar, and the numbers Y of calories in 10 smoothies. So here we've got grams of sugar, here we've got calories of smoothies. Okay, and they're gonna ask us some questions. How many calories are in the smoothie that contains 56 grams of sugar? If I come over here, I look at the sugar, and I find 56, and I go up, and I look, and it's 270 calories. So part A is 270 calories. I think it's interesting that there are smoothies that have different amounts of sugar but the same amount of calories, which just goes to show you that maybe different fruits have different calorie contents or different juices. Anyway. Okay, next question. How many grams of sugar are in the smoothie that contains 320 calories? So this time we go to the calories, we go up to 320 and we go over, and in this case, part B, there are 70 grams of sugar. That's a lot. Okay, what tends to happen to the number of calories as the number of grams of sugar increases? Okay, it's kind of a Doug question, really. Well, so part C, as the amount of sugar increases, the calories increase. Okay, so I think that's pretty easy. All right, so a correlation is a relationship between data sets, and you can use a scatter plot to describe the correlation between data. So if it has a positive correlation, okay, it has a positive slope. And that makes sense. When we saw the example of the men and the women, their ages both got bigger as they got older, you know, the longer they were married. Okay, negative correlation is when it has a negative slope, and no correlation looks like one of those paintings that you know, they just kind of whap the paint on it and little dots go everywhere. That's what that reminds me of. Okay, so tell whether the data show a positive, a negative, or no correlation. So this is age and vehicles owned. So this 20-year-old, so they asked however many dots there are, that's how many people they asked. And so this 22-ish year old has owned 4 cars. I don't think it's all at the same time, but has had 4 different cars. And over here, the other end of the spectrum, we have about a 58-year-old, and they've only had 3 cars. I like this one. This person's had 7 cars. They're about 48 years old. But what's the correlation here? There isn't one. I would think there was one. I would think that the older you are, the more cars you've had in your life. So I would have thought it would have gone up like this, but I thought that was really interesting. So no correlation. This is the temperature and coat sales, okay? Here's the temperature. As the temperature goes up, coat sales go down. That makes total sense, okay? So this is a negative correlation. Okay, a line of best fit, I'm actually going to cover in the next video.